Welcome, guys. Welcome to Shade in the City.
Welcome.
I'm playing with my new mic and having a little too much fun. I'm your girl, Trees.
It's Nels.
And today we are getting into our review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 5. I finally got the season right, episode 8. So please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it because you know what? Friends don't let each other buy friends plane tickets. And let's get shady.
Sound like you already did. Jesus.
So we catch up with Kimmy. She is in her office, and Maurice walks in surprised to see her. She lets him know that they've, she's sent out a contract and they're working on their first closing. So everything is going very well.
With William. I don't know. Is that the same dude? My back dude?
No, that's Chris. That's Chris Fletcher.
Oh, okay. I don't know who the hell William is now. I thought I was on to something.
No, that's his bae. Anyway, so Kimmy says when Maurice decided he was going to go to law school, she knew she always wanted to open her a title company. She talks about how she hopes to help serve the community that is underserved, and says that they don't have anyone in their area who look like them who, close on titles. So Maurice tries to take credit for making her pursue it. And she says she always wanted to do this. She just wanted to do real estate at her pace, not his. Okay, I think we talked about this at the retreat with Dr. Francis. Now, she wants everyone to focus on what exactly they are able to accomplish by opening the only African-American title closing in Huntsville. Maurice reminds her it's also the #1 city in America to live. They just gonna keep selling that.
Right? He's like, bring your ass down here so we can sell your house, okay?
Look, after this episode, I'm gonna need y'all to get a few more restaurants. Y'all was a little
like, we did see one more though. Korean barbecue too. Shocked the shit out of me.
And do you see how excited they was to have somewhere different? That means the selections are few and far between. I'm good.
I was shocked to see a Korean barbecue. If anything, I
think it was dope. We'll get into that. So Kimmy feels like, they not putting enough accolades on it. You're gonna put some respect on her name. And Maurice does agree that diversity in the title industry is very important. She asks whether he had rescheduled his meeting, his hometown meeting with Ron, and he confirms he did. We don't know who Ron is, and I don't know who hometown is, but okay, that's between her and her husband, and their business. So he then wants to talk about their comeback group meeting and felt it was cordial, but nothing was resolved, which can result in the same thing happening again. Kimmy says she knows they can get rid of people, but feels like the people they bring in from the outside are the problem. Now, Maurice asks her if basically all she sees is Wanda as a problem, because that's mainly what she talks about. And she brings up how Marsau and Maurice also need to do a better job of getting through to Mark. Now, Maurice argues that Mark never inserted himself in this situation. He got inserted into the situation. Kimmy says that she can agree. And Maurice says that, he knew this would happen, but he's grown up with his brother. And once he's on something, he's on it. Okay. So she questions his integrity as a brother, a friend, an adult, to attempt to at least try to talk to Mark. I said, Lord, she tells him because it changes how people view him.
Let me say something. I can see Kimmy going to law school.
Right.
She is persuasive.
Yes, she is. She lets him know he doesn't have to go to war with Mark or even argue, but he and Marsau should definitely sit him down. And then in confessional, she says she knows it's a small shot in hell that Mark will listen, but at least they can say they tried. Kimmy compares trying to talk to Mark to the civil rights movement.
She shown him did.
That if no one ever made the effort for change because they thought it wouldn't happen, where would we be? So
I think Maurice said something like, if
Maurice
he
said
was
if
a civil.
for the civil rights movement, they would still have the same problems. Oh,
And
now
we see that we see later on that he is 100%
look, Mark
correct.
said we ain't overcoming yet. Okay. Kimmy says that he needs to try because he knows Mark is a part of the problem. She lets him know the irony behind the situation is that he and Marcel are so quick to say no when discussing talking to Mark. However, they always want Tisha to be able to manage Miss Wanda. I said, okay, Kimmy, coming with facts. Look, girl.
I feel like she always do. She be on it.
She tells him they find all types of measures to temper Wanda, and Maurice believes it's two totally different scenarios. Wanda came in defending Tisha, Mark is defending himself. So Kimmy says in confessional, she's not sure who started what, but Mark's take on the situation is adding toxic fuel to the fire. She tries to encourage Maurice to have a conversation with Mark and at least make the effort, and then tells Maurice basically, get out of her office. Bye.
And I think he knocked some shit over on his way out. He like, telling me to get out of here.
Right. I paid for this office.
Right. We see Kiki again. Kiki, do you love me? She went to go visit Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mel says she's been super busy, but she's happy she finally gets a chance to catch up with her. Now let me say something. Kiki came over and Mel put her ass right to work.
Yes, she did.
I feel like this is some country folks shit. Like, hey, I need some help with this, or come in the kitchen, help me with this. Look. And she showed up there. She went in there and helped. I said, this is
I was gonna say that must be because when I come over, I just expect a glass of wine. I'm not expecting to do much. Like, I'm not, unless you say, girl, we're gonna make dinner or that's in the plan.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Or somebody be like, do you mind cutting this up like you do when you come over? But if you didn't feel like doing it, nobody's like,
yeah, it's like I don't know.
yeah.
I guess Melody said, I ain't no host, bitch. Okay, you coming over, we gonna get this done. So Kiki basically wants the tea on what happened at Madani. Okay, she gives her the rundown about Miss Wanda and her going live, and tell her that she confronted her and shit went left as expected. And Mel says basically, let this be a lesson. Don't think that you're basically what you do is not going to have some repercussions, bitch. Now, I don't know who had the repercussions because you got ran up on, Mel, but that's neither here nor there. And she said that she would do it again. And let her know that Martel had scheduled a dinner with the comeback group. What you got to say?
I'm still Team Mel over here. I don't know
I'm Team Mel too.
I don't know what is going over there.
Listen, I'm still Team Mel, but I still feel that it was the wrong place, wrong time. I also feel that there was no lesson learned on Miss Wanda's part. So I don't know where she's coming at because Mel just ran her mouth and Miss Wanda was actually ready to throw some hands. So I think if anybody learned a lesson, I would have hoped it would have been you. Don't run up on me, lady. But apparently, since she said she would do it again, that ain't what happened. But she had a whole team backing her, so who knows? She says that they all talked about boundaries and said overall it went great. But certain people try to act like they don't know certain things and don't know what was going on and don't know what their mama said. We know who the hell she talking about.
Just add her, Mel. Just add.
You know what though? I think she did say Tisha tried to act like she didn't know. So I mean, really, technically, she did add her. But you know what? She says that they all came to an agreement, and they won't be saying anything on social media. And
like, good luck.
And basically, that Marcel and Tisha are supposed to be sitting down with Miss Wanda to talk to her about not talking about kids. Kiki says, it's super tricky when it comes to stuff like that because it's her aunt. She loves her aunt. She don't want to get in the middle of it, but says that, she had her own little shit with them. And she said she was about to expose their ass. She was about to, give them their shit. And Marcel basically told her, look, I will blackmail your ass. Keep on. Bitch, I will burn this bitch to the ground. Say what you got to say. I said, you know what though? He showed up dead. He was like, come on with it. I'll burn this bitch to the ground. So Kiki, she finally admitted what was said. She says that she was addicted to prescription.
We spent a whole season trying to figure out what the hell was Kiki's secret.
And you know what? I don't feel like it was as bad as we thought it was.
Right. We thought it was COVID.
Or something else.
Or she was a thief. Well, she kind of was a thief, but a different type of thief. We either said it is a sickness, which we knew was before COVID, so that didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And only reason why I would forewarn you about one of my homegirls coming into your home if you were having something, if they were a thief.
I just felt like, it could have been a great story, which I'm not saying it's not taking anything away from what it is now. It's still a great story, but I just felt like it could have been a great story that, yes, this was a problem I had. It's life. You're normal. You're a person.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
But I overcame it. I did my rehab. I did what I needed to do. And I'm a better person than I was back, what was it, 5-6 years ago that happened? You know what I mean?
So I think what it is, and I love what you said, because it really is a story of resilience, but it can also, when you put things out in the world, how other people perceive it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she was scared of, honestly. I don't think it was, because it is a resilient story, and I'm happy that, she did say that, I'm sorry, we didn't even get into the shit, y'all. I guess we'll break it down.
Yeah, she was addicted to prescription pain medication. Kiki, I am proud of you for actually coming out and saying it. I know it's a big deal. And of course there's no time limit on when you feel the need to, spill your own beans. But congratulations, kudos for overcoming it and doing your rehab and back to the story at hand, right?
And I will say, I don't understand why. I'm with Kiki. I didn't understand.
You said what?
It was vital for them to tell Martell.
I think they were trying to be shady. The way Kiki explained it, I feel like they were trying to be shady.
The way Mel explained it. Mel was like, no, they're the one that came up to me like it was a joke. Like, make sure y'all hide y'all pills.
Yeah, I think they were trying to be funny. Like it was.
And that's why I say it's messed up. That's why I understand why Kiki, like now that she's told the story, I now understand why she was beefing so
upset.
Hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But basically from what Kiki explained, she says that at some point she couldn't get any more and she was taking other people's pills and she didn't think people would realize because it was stuff that, she felt like they wasn't using, but people did start to realize. She says that she came clean and told her family. And apparently before this situation happened at, telling Melody and Martell, she had just left rehab a few months prior. She says that she doesn't understand what was the point in them having to tell Mel that she was addicted to the pain medication. And Mel says that like it was hard, and she feels like basically they kind of joked about it. It says like, you better put your pain pills up, you better hide your pills or whatever. And Kiki says that, she felt some type of way that they took the most devastating time in her life to bash her rather than support her. Mel tells her that she's proud of her for all she's overcame, pretending to the addiction and going on with her family. Mel tells her that her future is bright.
All you YouTube viewers out there who hated on Kiki and didn't understand how she could fuck her family over, well, ask yourself the question, how is it okay for Tisha to fuck her over first?
It was just, I guess, you know what though?
And a lot of people don't fuck with Kiki because they feel like, oh, you went and fucked with Mel. But if Mel was treating me the way Mel was treating me in comparison to how Tisha has treated me, I'm absolutely riding with Mel.
You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if this was actually a tactic so that we could wonder what the hell was going on, make it this big, huge thing. Shit, for all I know, it was a flesh-eating disease. Okay. That if I sit next to you, bitch, I'm gonna get, I'm gonna be sick, and you know what I mean? Some huge shit. And now that you tell us what it is, it's like, oh, that's all it was. You know what I mean? Like, you're just human. Like, you're human. You go through, you're allowed. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if that was also a tactic that, let the media eat it up and come to their own conclusions.
Let's let it build up.
Exactly. And when I do say what it is, it's like, oh, is that it? That's all?
Right.
And if that's what it was, bitch, it helped. It worked, because I'm like,
we thought you was over here kidnapping babies.
Girl, I didn't know what the hell it was. I thought it was something serious. But basically, Mel tells her that she's an amazing woman and she's going to do some amazing things. Now, into the thick of it, into the shit of the shit of the shit.
Oh, we getting
into something.
Can I tell y'all? And I know a lot of y'all are not going to want to hear this, but I personally would like Mark Scott on the show moving forward. He has my vote. I would not mind. He is actually funnier and pettier than Marceau could ever be. Go ahead.
So Maurice, Marcel, and Mark, they all meet up at a park. They
That's funny. They don't have that yet in Huntsville.
Maurice says his plan is not to poke the bear, just to throw some suggestions out there and see if he's receptive. Mark asks, how they been since the scuffle. Marceau gives him the rundown about what happened on social media. Mark says social media is just fucking everything all up. Okay. And Maurice says, that's really why we're here today. Maurice let him know that he be popping off at the mouth. And Kevin says that he pop off about his stuff.
Who's Kevin?
Why say Kevin?
I don't know, because nobody in this scene is named Kevin. That's why it threw me off. If you would have just said the wrong name, they're all M's, I would have let it roll.
Is this the only time I said Kevin? Is this the only time I said Kevin?
Yes.
Okay, good. I swear to God, my shit says Kevin. It says Kevin.
Woo. That was funny. I'm like, Maurice, Marcel, Kevin. Who's that brother?
That brother. All right. Look, the one we don't know, okay? The one without the M, all right?
Oh, okay.
So Maurice let him know that, he be popping off at the mouth. And Mark tells him that he be popping off about his stuff. He don't be popping off about their stuff.
He said, how would Wanda I post affect you personally?
Basically. And Maurice asked about a post that he put out saying that he dated Van. He says that he was talking to Kiowa on an Instagram video and somebody must have recorded it. And, on there he did say that he dated Van. And says that for 2 years there was nothing. And now this reunion comes out and boom, it's a whole thing. Now, apparently...
You ain't gonna deny me.
Apparently, because, in a reunion, Miss Van said that she ain't never been in his house. That ain't what Mark said. Okay, Mark said that she stayed at his house. And says, basically it was more than a friendship. Okay. Basically, he wanted to be claimed. He wasn't being claimed. He feeling some type of way. Marceau tells him.
Okay. Hear me out. Miss Van is a respectful older woman.
He said she's saving church face.
Exactly. And if you ain't gonna put a ring on it, I ain't gonna be telling you my friend, but I ain't gonna be telling people I'm out here running around.
No. So okay, so it's okay to no. Hold the fuck up. Hold the motherfucking phone. So it's okay to be out here running around like that, but then lying about it. Is that what we're saying?
What I do is between me and the Lord, my Savior Jesus Christ.
And we already know since you saving church face, it's not okay with you in the Lord.
Don't do that.
Basically, what I know is Mr. Mark, okay, he said, if we just friends don't buy friends plane rides for their birthday. Okay, listen. Now, basically, Maurice asked him, are you trying to defend yourself, or are you he said something like he was like, if you're defending yourself, you're defending yourself. If you're going on offensive to be offensive, that's something totally different.
Right. Especially when no one's attacking.
This nigga said, if you gonna fight me, pack a lunch. Mark,
please come to the show.
All right.
Look, it's like a school intercom. Please come to the office, Mark.
Marcel gets into this whole thing and explains, if someone's behind Maurice and throws a rock at him, and then, Maurice shields it, and then he throws a rock. Let me say something. Basically, long story short, he's basically saying at some point we're then attacking each other. Okay. And tells him that, he's hurting someone that didn't have anything to do with him. And at this point, it's been like he's got his foot on their neck. Okay. Marcel tells him that if he's justified for what he's doing, but regardless, that part is not fair. Now, Marceau says that he's a huge believer in, if you throw a match at my house, I'll burn yours down. But he doesn't feel that Miss Van threw a match. Right. He said people deny relationships all the time. Marceau, you should know. Maurice tells him that he wants him to chill the fuck out. Okay. And Marceau tells him that, he's doing something that, could hurt him and his family. And if the shoe was on the other foot, he would temper that and chill out because of his love for him. Right. Maurice tells him that he was betting against him as far as being the bigger person. And Mark says he's definitely not the biggest person. And he's not as sensitive to women as most people are. Basically, you disrespect me, I disrespect you. We're giving that same energy. And he says, if you're on a disrespecting level, I'm on a disrespecting level. At this point, we're no longer being disrespectful. We're having a conversation and it just looks ugly. I said, God, he is giving Marceau energy right now. Maurice asked him if he'd be willing to apologize to the ones that got hurt. And he says, respectfully, fuck you.
Oh, no. In your face for me, Shade Squad.
What you say?
I said it was when he laughed in their face for me, Shade Squad.
Mark is, he's worse. He's worse. He's worse than Marcel.
They were not lying. When they said that he is times 10, times 20, they ain't never lied.
They ain't never lied.
You still got my vote, Mark. So Tisha and Destiny link up for lunch. Tisha says she wants to check in on Destiny since, she hasn't really seen her since the Madani event. And, since everything didn't go as planned, she thought it would be nice to try something new. So they're going to the new Korean barbecue spot that me and Nails were talking about. Because apparently it's very new, because apparently a lot of people are opening up new things in Huntsville because
it's called Stone Age. So if we're ever in Huntsville, Alabama, we'll be checking it out. Along with Black.
And I was going to be petty. It would be nice.
The potatoes?
No. Well, I do actually want to try Miss Wanda's potatoes, but I was going to say no. And we're going to go see the Chicken Man.
The Chicken Man. I knew he was going to say that.
So, She catches up with Destiny, asks her how she's doing. She talks about how, she just got in trouble with Moses, her boo, Moses, her sexy Louise boy. So she says that when she was chilling with Moses, she likes to relax and unwind. And I know how that is, girl. I've done the long distance relationship thing. And then they think when you get there, you're supposed to be servicing them and cooking for them. And then like it's a real life. Like, no, 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 no. As Tisha said, this is vacation.
I think it's a vacation sometimes, not every time you go there.
Not if you're doing it on the regular, but it seems like they're, at least to me, still kind of in the newbie stages where you're going out to dinner and especially if we do know she's a full-time mom most of the time, like with her son. So she is cooking. She is, so I don't know. I can understand that. Like when I was in a long distance relationship, I didn't even have a kid then. So I can't even imagine now if I were to date someone and be getting off a plane and now you want me to cook for you. I do that at home.
I wonder would it be the same if he flew to her? Is it still considered a vacation?
I would take you out. If you came to me and I didn't feel like the point is, I think she just doesn't feel like it, is what I'm saying. And
I get that, but I don't feel like it should be like that every time because
no, I agree with you. There should be times, but
if I plan to pursue you as a wife, I want to see how you'll get down in the kitchen. I'm not saying that you got to do it all the time, but shit, I want to make sure you ain't gonna burn my pots and shit.
I hear you.
The fire alarm.
Now, he doesn't believe she can cook, and she said, being a mama, being a business owner, and she also says she doesn't have the time to think about what's in his refrigerator. That's a whole nother thing when you're going somewhere else. What's in your refrigerator, and can she cook in the kitchen that's not hers? And finding out where things are. So I get that comfort level. I totally get that. I totally get where she's coming from, but I also understand where Nails is coming from. You have to have a happy medium if you're gonna make this work, girl. So, and I feel like she was getting ready to say in between being a wife, a mama, and a business owner, but she like delete
on the wife part.
Yeah, backspace. Yeah.
Get that shit off my page.
Right. So Tisha brings up how she was on 10 last time she saw her. And Destiny said that wasn't what the event was supposed to be about. Tisha hates that all that went down at her place of business and knows, that that's Destiny's bread and butter. Destiny says she felt people came there to start shit. She says one good thing came out of it is that everybody knows where Madani is now.
Stormy said it.
I was just getting ready to say that. I said, Stormy did say that. Tisha brings up Stormy giving her the gift. Destiny kind of rolls her eyes and says, it was just a lot with Stormy and Melody both showing up. However, she does think that Stormy came at her correct. But she said, everybody felt like she had an attitude for no reason. And she's like, but I didn't invite them. And, they may try to play it's a public event card. But she still feels it's messed up. Tisha brings up how she threw her in it, saying she could have had Mel escorted out like she did Tisha. So Destiny says she was just thinking about how Mel felt at her event when Tisha showed up. And Tisha says she was being nice and she didn't even come with no drama then. So Tisha says she just wanted a moment. And Destiny says, well, she should have told Mel she was the moment because that's her place of business. And says Mel needs to take some air out of that head. That's the best read you got, Dustin. Ain't nothing else in there. It took you almost 2 episodes to get that read, to really think about what you should have said in the moment.
You're a mess.
I'm just saying, good luck. So then Tisha basically asked her, well, like, did everybody apologize? And she says that Marcel called her the next day and he apologized, but obviously no apologize came from Melody. And she actually is not looking forward to one. She said that basically they've come so far at this point.
An apology for her is like,
right. She talks about how Stormy did invite her to the warehouse. And they were able to link up. And then she talks about, and Tisha asked her, well, did you ask her why she got you such an expensive gift? And she was just like, yeah, I told her basically, I think you was doing too much and I'm not about to be nobody's charity case. And that if we gonna do business or you gonna gift me, then it needs to be products.
I'll take both.
I'll say both.
So I mean, I'm not ungrateful.
Right. So then she also brings up the idea of Stormy coming into her store to do a pop-up and says that they're literally not even 2 minutes away from each other. So she brings up how Stormy keeps bringing up this idea of trying to get the ladies together, and she let her know that they need to work on the two of them before she starts being worried about everybody else. Now Tisha says in confessional that she feels Destiny and Mel should work on their relationship and be cordial since they did have a good friendship in the past. Tisha tells her about the comeback group meeting. She brings up how Mel brought up her mom and tried to act as if she had no part in it. She tells her about the newfound boundaries, and Tisha says she won't have a problem with that, but Miss Wanda might.
We are at Mila's birthday party. Apparently, they decided to have this thing outside in the Alabama heat. Also, where Marcel left the poor baby's cake. He done left the baby's cake in the car. He said he learned his lesson. Lesson to you all: do not leave a cake, whether it's ice cream or not, in the Alabama heat. I think we all know that as mothers, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So, of course, Miss Wanda's late. She feels some type of way that they already saying happy birthday without her. That's all she keeps on talking about. Y'all really did that? Y'all really? Girl, it ain't your birthday.
For me.
Right? It ain't your birthday. So yes, Miss Wanda was feeling entitled as hell. Even the poor baby was explaining that, the cake was melting. So we had to hurry up and get it done on her birthday. Chopper. So basically, as soon as Miss Wanda get there, the child ain't even get no cake. Okay. Tisha and Marsau pulled her ass to the side. And they like, you know what? We had a dinner with everybody, like we told you. And the main topic was about you and setting boundaries with social media. And of course, Miss Wanda, she's trying to defend herself with the whole.
I didn't say nothing on the social media.
I just said the baby daddy. You need to know who your baby daddy is. And she was talking about my baby daddy was in her DM. She's trying to defend herself. Whatever. So,
but didn't you say I didn't say nothing about the baby? I said something about the last baby, and I said that's still the baby, Wanda. That's still a baby.
Period.
That's his child.
Period. Marcel tells her that, what he can't control is what comes out of his mouth. So the agreement is everybody keeps someone else's name out their mouth on social media. He also tells her that when she goes on social media, she only needs to be talking about Wanda.
Yeah.
Okay. Or show enough. Wanda, whatever the fuck it's called, her little food truck shit. Because he said it is knocking on death's door. Okay. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be promoting your shit. Okay. And, he says he's not blaming, her for everything, but it's a snowball effect. Miss Wanda basically said that, if they don't talk about me, I won't talk about them. So Marcel explains that when you stop saying somebody's name, they got to figure out something else to talk about.
Right.
And Miss Wanda says that,
and then he even uses coleslaw as a reference and said, look what happened when we stopped talking about Martell's baby mama. He did say that.
I heard him say that. I did not realize he was talking about coleslaw.
Because he didn't.
At this point, he got more than one baby mama, so.
Well, no, because he said he didn't say coleslaw, but he's
not saying names.
The reason why he said, because he doesn't want to give her energy to go get on live and talk, oh, they using my likeness on the show to make money off me. That's what that was about. So he didn't even say her name, but that's what he meant. Was like, see what happened when we stopped talking about her? She went the fuck away. Now she's just attacking Martell. She left us alone.
All right, Marcel. So Miss Wanda says that she's just real. And she curses at them all the time. And Marcel says, because we have love. She said, we really don't. Like, I really don't fuck with you like that.
She really did.
She was like, for real. Like, I don't. And Tisha basically, she break that shit up. Tisha tells Miss Wanda that when her and Mel get into it, she knows how to handle the situation. And Miss Wanda, she feels like she should have handled things different. She should have cursed her out and feels like she's being too soft. But she needs to understand that she knows how to handle the situation when it comes to them. Marcel tells her that, you know, she raised a strong woman and she ain't taking no crap. Tisha says that she doesn't feel like Miss Wanda is really, you know, being receptive to what they're saying because she's being more defensive. Um, Tisha tells her basically, well, Miss Wanda asks her, like, what do you want me to do? What you expect? So she tells her there's no more talking about kids directly or indirectly, and don't get on live and talk about anybody else but Wanda.
Mm.
So, you know, she says that she's not going to talk about kids no more. So Marcel and Miss Wanda actually try to hug it out. Well, Marcel tried to hug it out with her. And she like, don't get too close. Your titties sting. Like, get up off me. She really not want to be bothered with him. She was like, don't touch me, sir. Like your dirty bag.
Your bag. It's given. I was like, Tisha, have you never told Marcel that your mama really don't fuck with him? Because that's what it was given.
She was like, oh, don't. I think he like even reached like and touched her shoulder. She said, don't touch
like, don't touch me.
She's like, don't touch me. And she was dead ass serious. Well,
thank you guys for tuning in to another review, season 5, episode 8 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button,
you comment,
you subscribe,
and hit the notification bell.
And y'all, please make sure that you're following us on all the platforms that are the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, the IG, all that good stuff.
All that stuff.
And we thank you for your support. And we will catch you next week for another review of the Love and the Marriage in the Huntsville, the #1 city in America.
Good night.